For years now, it's been a home seller's market, meaning that sellers have wielded more power in the buying-selling dynamic, and that has kept prices lofty. Are things beginning to shift in the long-awaited buyer's market? Does house inventory hold the answer? I'll get to that in this video, so let's get to it. Buyer's market? Are we turning into a buyer's market? As you know, historic interest rate hikes have eroded the buying power of home buyers. But unlike in the past, home prices have not suffered the corresponding lower prices that we would expect. Traditionally, if mortgage rates increased 1%, home prices fell to about how much home buyers could now afford. That 1% increase in mortgage rates, when you do the math, equates to about 10% less buying power and hence 10% lower home costs. Lack of inventory. But that didn't happen. Why the difference? Seemingly because inventory fell drastically, as many would-be home sellers decided they couldn't sell because if they sold their home with a very low mortgage, they'd be stuck with a much higher mortgage on their repurchase. By the way, 85% of home sellers do repurchase a home. So getting out of a lower mortgage to think that they're going into a higher one, it happens a lot. High prices. And why did home prices stay high? This huge lack of inventory created a supply-demand imbalance with more buyers than sellers and much more competition to purchase homes. Additionally, the all-time high stock market likely helps keep home prices up too. Home buyers feel wealthier when their stocks are doing great, so they're likely to be less bothered by high home prices. Turning point? But how are things turning? The stock market is still high, but it seems that inventory is starting to pick up in meaningful ways. It seems that those in the lock-in effect are just getting tired of putting their life on hold. Is that pickup in inventory shifting the market to a buyer's market? Well, according to Compass CEO, that answer would be yes. He says, quote, "It is a different environment. We are now seeing more sellers than buyers." By the way, I'm Karrie Hill, lawyer turned realtor, and if you're buying or selling a home in Marin, I offer a value package that no other Marin agent can match. Plus, I've lived in Marin County for nearly 30 years and raised 3 children here. And I love to help people, just like you, make a smart move. And if you're not in Marin, I provide referrals anywhere in the US too. Just email me. Okay, now let's look closer at how home inventory is changing. We can do that with stats for homes that are actively listed for sale. Let's start with the numbers for the whole US and then whittle it down to Northern California, or at least a good chunk of Northern California, and then just Marin. Okay, so the chart we're looking at here are all active listings in Redfin's metro areas. All the big cities across the United States, so pretty representative of what's going on in the market. So if you look here, this is what we're interested in, which is this line right here is for, which is kind of yellow, where we are so far in 2024. Actually, this probably doesn't go up to May because Redfin stats tend to lag a bit, but you can see already that the amount of inventory, because of the active listings going on, is the highest it's been in 4 years. The blue line underneath here is 2023, the black line is 2022, and the orange line is 2021. Bottom line, inventory is definitely up. Now, I happen to know that new listings aren't up nearly like this, and therefore that means that home buying has slowed. So whether home buyers have gotten tired of the high prices or we've just exhausted all the home buyers who really needed to buy despite the interest rates is unknown, but clearly this inventory is coming from houses sitting on the market longer. But that doesn't really matter in terms of if prices come down a bit, it may encourage other home sellers to get on the market while the prices are still high. If people aren't buying, it still tips things in favor of buyers. This information about active listing comes from about 6 counties: Lake County, Marin, Mendocino, Napa County, Sonoma County, and Solano County. And what I found interesting in this is down here in this how many homes for sale, that for all these counties is up 37.4% when you look at this year, January to this date, compared to last year, January to this date. So pretty consistent with what I showed you about the United States statistics. But let's look at the actual numbers that are not represented on the chart above, because that only goes through April. So let me give you an idea of what it would look like now. So with all of those counties right now, it says that there are 2,935 homes for sale. So I have this little handy dandy ruler here. I'm going to move that up to where it's about 2,900 homes for sale on this chart. So I'm guessing that green bar, when these get posted for the end of May, it'll be at about the top of this ruler right here. And you can see when you look across that that's starting to look kind of significant, because there are not that many months that we had more inventory than that in the last 4 years, because it starts at April 2020. And another thing about this is, if you look at that, where this is going up here, from there to going to be higher, this is a very steep increase. And though you can see other increases on this chart, none of them are going to be as steep as this with the next bar here. Yeah, this one looks a little steep, but this is going to be steeper. And you can see that it is, because look at the difference between these 2 bars here. That's steeper than anything that's on that chart at all. Okay, enough chart analysis. Let's see how this looks for Marin County. And here are the Marin numbers. And just like the 6 counties we just looked at, it is up. This is 36.1% when you look at year to date compared to last year, January year to date. And let's do the little ruler trick again and see what that gets us. So we currently have 475 homes for sale. Moving that up on the chart to about 475 would put us right there. So that next bar is going to be, again, steep way up here. And again, just like the 6 counties, it's going to be higher than most of the other bars on the chart. Now you can see that we have this rolling amount of inventory every year, but that's why it matters that this move is so much steeper than it's been, because that's a change than the way it has been. And it will be interesting to see if that continues, at which point things could be very different out there. Well, after looking at all of that, we now know that the numbers and patterns of increases are similar across the board. So perhaps we are on the path to higher inventory that will last and a buyer's market. Next week, I'll have all the other information for Marin County that I generally report at the month's end, like prices and price per square foot, along with the charts with the bars that include May. So watch out for that one. In the meantime, here are some other videos about Marin County. At least they should be showing right now. Thank you for watching and have a great day.